Alright everybody, what's going on? Member here, and welcome to another video. This time we're going to be going over another Fatal Fury City of the Wolves video, and I'm going to try to make this quick. Pretty much in this game, of course there's safe jumps in this game, just like any other fighting game, and pretty much for anybody that doesn't know what safe jumps are, safe jumps are when the attacker is able to continue their offense, like they're pretty much able to continue attacking while also blocking on their wake up at the same on the defender's wake up at the same time. And what that looks like is this. See, okay, so they're able to block. They block the DP, but if Terry mashes a jab on wake up, Terry wouldn't stuffed out like that. And that's pretty much what a safe jump is. Instead of just trying to get this long-winded explanation of it. You can go a little bit more into detail, but I'm not the best at explaining things. There's several different videos explaining what safe jumps are in different games, and probably even this game as well. And pretty much the reason I'm showing the safe jumps here is because with the just defend and guard cancel mechanics, you are able to defend against safe jumps and alleviate pressure properly. Now, I don't want to go too detailed into what just defense and guard canceling is. There's a great video that explains them in detail. Chris F makes videos like this all the time, giving tutorials and explaining how different mechanics work and how different things work in fighting games. I'm going to put a link to his video in the description because he'll probably be able to explain it way better than I'll ever be able to. So I'm going to link his video in the description here. But you can pretty much use just defend and guard cancels to defend against safe jumps. And the best way to do that is to be able to buffer to buffer whatever move that you're trying to guard cancel. Now remember, in this game, you're only able to guard cancel special moves, rev art special moves, and supers. You cannot guard cancel into normals. That just does not work in this game. Okay. And with rev art special moves, because guard canceling costs a meter, it costs about 17% of your rev gauge. When using a rev art in a guard cancel, it's gonna cost even more. It's gonna be even more expensive. So you want to be sure and understand when you're using these moves and like what moves you actually want to use to defend against whatever safe jump scenario that you're in, and also depending on like your health and like your meter and your super. Like there's a lot to take in there, but pretty much you'll be able to use just defend and guard canceling to combat safe jumps here. And the best way to do that is to buffer whatever move that you're guard canceling with. So there, I buffered a super to do a just defend guard cancel. And that super in particular doesn't have any invincibility. So pretty much what I'm trying to demonstrate here is that with a just defend guard cancel, you don't need invincibility. You don't need an invincible move or an invincible super in order to beat a safe jump scenario. You just need to have the right frame data. And with the super in particular, in this game, if you initiate a super after a just defend guard cancel, the super will come out on frame 1, when normally it would probably come out on like frame 5, 9. Okay, I'm just 5, 9, 10. Like Terry's Buster Wolf super, his level 1 Buster Wolf comes out on frame 10. But if you input it after a just defend guard cancel, it'll come out on frame 1. And there's no invincibility on it, by the way. So that's important to know, because you don't need to use an invincible move. in a just defend guard cancel. In a just defend guard cancel using a super, because it comes out on frame 1. It's the fastest possible. It's the fastest a move could ever possibly be in like any fighting game. I hope I'm making sense here. So I know I went through this pretty quickly, especially for people that don't understand these terms and these techniques and these advanced techniques. But to get a better understanding of what just defend is, what hyper defense is, what guard canceling is, and what zero frames are, like I said, Chris F explains it pretty well in the video that he recently uploaded. So like I said, I'm going to link his video in the description, and I might also include it on as like a pop-up on this video as well. So I just want to inform you all about that. This is very important, because not a lot of games have mechanics to beat safe jumps. And the only reason I knew about this is because I just had an idea and I had enough fighting game experience to think, you might be able to use JDGC or, you know, HDGC, actually more so JDGC, just defend guard cancel. You might be able to use that to escape safe jump situations, and lo and behold, you can. Now, really quickly, I'm pretty much done with the video, but really quickly, what I want to also include is that you could also use like just regular special moves to get out of safe jump scenarios, but it's not as consistent as using your super, because with using special moves aren't granted the zero frame mechanic. They won't come out on frame 1 like a super will if you do it after a JDGC. So it's not as consistent. Sometimes you might trade, sometimes you might be able to beat a safe jump with the special move. It all depends on it depends on the frame data of your special move, like the startup frames of your special move, and it also depends on what the attacker is throwing out after landing as well. So the best way to show this is I'm gonna have Terry try to do a JDGC into his heavy power dunk break. Now you see here, I did JDGC into a heavy power dunk break, and it traded with Kevin's standing light punch, or his 5A. It traded with that. In other situations, depending on what you're waking up with and what the attacker is doing on landing, you might actually beat out that move clean and get like a full combo or something like that. But in this particular scenario, it traded. So I would just recommend, like, you can experiment with your character and with different opposing characters, but if you have the super meter, why not use it? You know, why not use the super meter just to get out of a safe jump scenario? It guarantees that you get out at the cost of a level 1. You don't need to use a level 2. You don't need to use a hidden gear unless you want to get extra damage, unless you want to secure the round or something like that. But you might as well use it to have that just gives supers another application for defense and everything, and it's excellent, honestly. Like I said, a lot of fighting games not every fighting game has scenarios to deal with safe jump situations, so this is great, and I love the fact that SNK included this in there. But that's pretty much it, guys. That's all I really wanted to explain. The video's a lot longer than what I wanted it to be, but I hope I made sense here, guys. I'm not the best at explaining things, but like I said, if you want to get a better understanding of what just defense are, what guard canceling is, what zero frames are, Chris F made a great video on it. I'm gonna link his video in the description. That's all from me here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you want. I don't make too many videos that often because I'm just pretty busy with life, but I'm gonna try my best. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a good one.